Hey everyone. Um, yeah. So let's just start it off. Yeah, I didn't make a video yesterday. Sorry, I was tired. I'm even tired today. So who knows if this video will be up by midnight? We'll have to see. Um, so yeah. So some interesting facts. I got a letter from IRS. From IRS. I know. I know. That's Yes, I know. I should be in jail by now. No, that didn't happen actually. Um, I emailed, so the letter was saying something about how I didn't pay my local taxes. So what was that I did? Um, I emailed because they provided an email um so I can contact them, and that's when the person contacted me back saying that it was because I didn't pay my local taxes. Um, So then I could just pay the taxes right away, just do the paperwork and stuff, which I do not have a clue how to do. I actually usually pay an attorney or get someone to help me with that kind of stuff. But in in that case, but they also said that I could go to the office. So that's what I did. I went to the office. And I went over there and they told me what I wanted to do. They actually did most of it themselves because all they needed was a copy of the form that I had in my hand, saying that, I owed this amount of money and then I had to pay that money through check. So it's only like $13. So it wasn't even that much. That was afraid it was because usually when you hear that you're summoned by IRA, IRS. There you go. When you're summoned by IRS, um, yeah, all your stuff is gonna go in the garbage. All your things, it's gonna be taken away from you. You're gonna be homeless now. It's gonna be tragic. Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, that didn't happen. So it was just, yeah, just pay us $13 and we're good. And then it wasn't only just 2004, also 2005, but 2025. Sorry, I didn't say this well. They were talking about the taxes from 2024. And also, they told me it was 2025. All right. Now 2025, I will admit that was my fault. Completely my fault. The guy um actually had prepared the letter for me with the information and everything. And all I had to do was put a stamp on it, my address, and mail it out. I didn't even have to pay, like I didn't have to make a check for it. And I forgot. I know. Horrible, isn't it? So, yeah, I just gave the paper to them and they just made a copy for me, just in case anyone wants to say I didn't do my taxes. I did them, okay? So yeah, and I also did write out a check for them for 2024 and I put it in their Dropbox. So yeah, so lesson learned here. In Pennsylvania, you got to give, you got to inform or do your taxes for not only the federal and not only the state, but also the local. Yeah, lovely. And also, it taught me that, you know, going to United Way is better than go and paying for a actual accountant to do your taxes. But I will do that in another video, okay? Because right now I want to continue with my part 3 of my life in the Midwest, okay? So we're gonna go into that. So, where was I? Okay, so if I remember last time I left off the fact that my car was broken down, dead, you know, it was there was no way of getting it fixed. All right. I was in Bison, South Dakota. Um, have no car, no working car. All right. And I'm moving. When was I moving? This was probably in May when this happened. No, or April. I feel it was April. April it was. Okay. So the end of April it was when the car broke down and I have no car. I had to be walking to school, which wasn't that far. I mean, like, and plus the weather was good. The weather was very good. We're talking about end of April, beginning of May. The weather was fine. Taking a little walk was probably good for me. So yeah, that what happened. I walked, and I wasn't like literally. I was across the street from the school, so that's how close the school was to me. So I wasn't so distruct, I wasn't so distant, or I wasn't so devastated by the fact that I have no car. There was a small grocery store in New York. We say bodega. But yeah, it was a small grocery store. Uh, but again, it was a walk away, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And I mean, and plus, I was moving to Nebraska in a matter of a little over a month at that point. I don't remember when I had the interview for the job in Nebraska because, as I had mentioned in the previous video, yeah, I was no longer coming back to South Dakota. Uh, I resigned from my position as an English teacher at that school, and I decided to move somewhere else. I definitely did not want to go back to New York. I wanted to figure out what other school can I work in. I thought, okay, this was just one bad year that I had. Maybe if I go to a different school, everything will be good. All right. Um, so I had an interview with a school, a small school, um, Elba, I believe the school name was called, Elba Public School in Nebraska. So I was like, great. But I had to drive from South Dakota to Nebraska. And that's not so much of an easy feast for anyone to know because if anyone know how big South Dakota is compared to Nebraska, I mean, actually, both states are big. All right, let's just go with that. I feel like South Dakota though is bigger than Nebraska, but I digress. Again, but yeah, you're talking about miles away between point A and point B, and so yeah, it was figuring out how do I get to that school without a car. What's I to do? A coworker of mine, she was really nice, and she helped me. You know, she told me, "Hey, there's a used car, um, out here, and I can drive you over there for you to check it out." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I was desperate. I went with her to go check out this used car. At the time, I thought it was fine. To be honest, I really don't know much about cars. You're talking to someone who is very inexperienced in this field. So yeah. Oh, and now going back to my family. My family is originally, my mother and father are from El Salvador. Yes. Um, but I grew up in New York. So the four of us, and I say four because I also have an older brother. So it's four of us. We all lived in Long Island, New York. All right. And back in 2016 is when I got the job uh, in South Dakota and decided I'm gonna go to South Dakota. All right. So um, So now we're talking about my family back in New York. My older brother, I forget how we planned this out, but basically he decided, hey, I want to go to South Dakota. Actually, I want to take a road trip all the way to South Dakota, check out other states in the United States, and maybe I can help my sister over there to move down to Nebraska. And after that, I'll just go back home to New York. Or maybe I'll go to California. I don't really remember exactly what was his plan. All I know is that he was coming down to South Dakota, and I was glad for that, but not 100%. So, fun fact to know about this, my brother loves traveling. He likes to take road trips by himself, and that's what he did. He has this goal of he wants to go to every state in the continental United States. This is great, awesome, you know. And so at the time when he heard about my story about the broken down car and how now I have a job in Nebraska, how the heck am I going to get from South Dakota to Nebraska? You know, and also I checked out a car up here in South Dakota, and I don't know if I should take it or not. You know, he decided to go down there, but the way things were organized, it wasn't my cup of tea. Just to say, to this day, I wasn't thrilled with how things went. And we'll keep it at that. But yeah, he drove all the way from New York, taking some trips in the meanwhile from New York all the way to South Dakota. And finally, when he met up with me in Bison, South Dakota, he helped me get my stuff into his car. He had a small, no, actually, I think he still has that small Honda. Yeah, he's a small Honda. We got all my things in there, and then we drove down to Nebraska. All right. And before that trip, though, so we now have to solve the issue of what we're gonna do with this broke down car because we can't leave it over here in Bison, South Dakota. And I don't know where in my head I thought of this. I must have been playing around the computer. That's one thing you should know about me. I tend to love to play around with technology. And when I say play around, I mean like go to different sites, learn about different things, or watch different videos. Like sometimes I'll be watching videos on YouTube. I'll see one video, my typical, oh, I like watching this video. Next thing I know, they say something and or I see another video right under that video. I'm like, oh, what is this? What is this talking about? And then next thing you know, it's 12 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on I'm in the Neverland of YouTube, the unknown area of YouTube. Y'all know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? It's like, how did I get from point A to point B? I'll end up in complete areas, or it could be the same thing. Like I'll see a video, I want to check it out. Next thing I know, like I'm on Google, googling certain words and terms, and in again the Neverland of Google. So that's what happened, like trying to figure out what was I going to do with this broke down car. Also, I don't know if I knew anything about ChatGPT at that time, or if ChatGPT existed at that time. I don't know. I don't remember, and I don't know. But I definitely wasn't using ChatGPT at that time. So again, searching around Google, and I found out that one thing I could do with that broke down car is donate it. And I thought, Well, why not? Yeah, I need to get rid of this car. I can't use it, so might as well donate it. And I was searching on the again Google, just googling, and I don't know how I got into this website. It's called Cars for Kids. Cars with a K. All right, the letter K. All right, for kids. And I was so interested in this. I was like, what is this? And basically, actually, I'm gonna stop it right here for a minute. I'll be back. All right, so Cars for Kids. Um, yeah, but let's just leave it like this. Is an American nonprofit organization best known for accepting donated vehicles and using the proceeds to fund youth focused programs. All right, so I'm reading that from ChatGPT. That's what they say about Cars for Kids. And so I went to the website, and that's how I learned about it. And when I heard about that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm interested. Okay, maybe I could donate my car to them because hello, I'm a teacher. I definitely love organizations that support um, children, youth programs. I love youth focused programs. FYI. Anyways, so as you can tell, it's the next day. All right. So yeah. So I was talking about how I went to the Cars for Kids website, which I will show you right now. And on this website, I completed the form. You see the form in the front where it talks about car donations? Yeah, I completed that form saying everything about the car. And I don't know if they called me later on. This was like 10 years ago, so I don't even remember exactly what happened. But yeah, I completed that application that I remember. Um, and I scheduled a time and day for when they were going to come to pick up the car. And what I didn't know until now is that these people are coming all the way from Lakewood, uh, New Jersey. Like what? These are people from Lakewood, New Jersey. Um, yeah, it's funny how hel- the help I need, I have to get it from the Northeast, exactly where I come from. But anyways, yeah, so they came over, they pick up the car. I think this happened before my brother finally got to Bison, South Dakota. All right, so my brother got to Bison, South Dakota. He hung around over there, helping me pack up and load the car, his car, because I didn't have a car. He did check out the car that I was interested in South Dakota, and he met my coworker, and he said that he felt that the car it was slipping. But he doesn't think it was a good idea to get the car. So I ended up not getting the car over there. I instead got a car from Nebraska by myself. Yeah, that again is another story. But yeah, so I got the car. We drove. He drove, I should say. He drove all the way from South Dakota, um, all the way to Nebraska. All right, and he got there in the evening. That I remember. That's when because I remember it was late at night and we were going up the stairs trying to be quiet because the apartment is up the stairs. All right, so I finally got up the stairs to my apartment. It was a really cute apartment, I'll be honest. I loved it. Not that I don't like this apartment. I mean, this one is nice as well, but that one was prettier. Anyways, so I got up there. Um, My brother slept. Did I say slap? Slept on the floor that night. I remember that. And we barely stayed there for one day, I believe. Um, yeah, I think the next day in the morning after eating breakfast is when he left. Again, he was wanting to do this big journey of traveling over the continent of the United States, and he wanted to go to certain states nearby. And so he wanted to also check out an exhibit that was in Nebraska. So that's why he left early. And so I was on my own. I had to figure out now how to get a car because my brother was only going to drive from South Dakota to Nebraska and just drop me off there. I now had to figure out, okay, so I need a car. Now, how do I get a car? And um, I ended up contacting, so before anything, there were two superintendents at the time because basically it was a transition of power. So the old superintendent was going to leave the school, and the new superintendent was coming in. All right. But at the time, I was still contacting and communicating with the old superintendent. He was the one that hired me. So I contacted the old superintendent asking about, this is my dilemma. I need to get a car. I need to buy a car. Do you know anyone who can drive me to the dealership and help me buy a car? And he said, sure. He got my coworker, one of the coworkers, one of the teachers, to drive over to my place and drop me off over there. And yeah, I really didn't get much help from that coworker. I don't know, maybe he was just busy or something, but there wasn't much communication between us. It was just literally, pick me up and drop me off at this dealership. And I was on my own trying to figure out, okay, what do I do? I ended up leasing a car. From at that time, I understood that I was to lease a car. So that's what I did. I decided to lease a car. Um, I went to a Ford dealership and I leased the car, and I loved that car. It was a 2017 Ford Focus, and I wish it didn't slip through my fingers. I miss it. I wish that again. That's another story. Okay, I guess I could say it. I totaled the car 7 days later, 7 years later, 7 years later, I think, or 8 years later. I don't remember 100%. I think it's 7 years later. I totaled the car. Yeah. I missed the car. I wish I had it with me, but it is what it is. I have a car now. It's a Nissan. But it's just not my Ford Focus. you know, Whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, so back then I leased that car, and I think it was within 2 years. 2 years is when I was able to buy the car out. So then I owned that car for the remaining of the time. And yes, I was so proud of that to be able to was able to purchase the car. I owned this new car. I was so happy about that. Um, and so yeah, and that's the story of the car in Nebraska, in how I destroyed the last car and all this other stuff. For the donations, I looked it up actually in ChatGPT because I didn't remember Cars for Kids. I didn't remember the organization that well at the time. And so I was asking ChatGPT about what are some organizations that allow you to donate your um, unused unfunctioned, unfortunately, car, and it gave me a list of a list of organizations that you could contact in case you're in the same situation that I am, where you got to get rid of a car that unfortunately the car is completely destroyed, a total maybe, or it doesn't work anymore. And yeah, and there's a lot. I know there was let me go look back on the computer. As you know, Cars for Kids is an organization that accepts donated cars, and they use whatever profit they get from those cars to fund youth-focused programs and organizations. Habitat for Humanity, Cars for Homes. So basically, they're using the funds from donated cars to create homes for people. Goodwill card donations. Any card you donate from Goodwill will go into to help employ people who are disabled, or disabled either mentally or physically. Um, Volunteers of America vehicle donation program. This one I didn't understand too well. Let me click on it. I'll just read from what it says. Um, okay. Volunteers of America Vehicle Donation Program is a charitable donation in that accepts donated vehicles and converts them into funding for the border mission of Volunteers of America. It offers free vehicles pickup in many areas, handle much of the donation process, and support programs serving veterans, older adults, families, people with disabilities, and others in need across the United States. So yeah, so that's basically what Volunteers of America. There are other organizations. Let me check. So then there's the National Kidney Foundation, Kidney Care. Oh, Kidney Cars. So basically, those who donate their car is to help fund for kidney research, um, things like that. And then Vehicles for Veterans is again another one that is to help serve the veterans, all right, or anyone in Army. Also, Salvation Army, because I was looking for where to. I had some boxes that I wanted to donate um, to other organizations. It was just basically like what was in the boxes: clothes, just random things that I had around the house. Yeah, I can't think of the random thing other than clothes. The big thing was clothes that I was giving away. And so the Salvation Army, I was looking while I was checking out their website, they also accept uh, donated cars. All right. For what reason, I don't know, but Salvation Army is known for doing good things, just like Goodwill. So there's that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's other organizations. If you guys can find other organizations, or you know of other organizations that accept broke down cars for donations or anything, you got a car that does no longer work or is total and you need to get rid of it, definitely donate it. I did that the first time. The second time that I had a destroyed car, I didn't do that. Unfortunately, I did not think about that. I wish I had done that the second time. At that time, I was so distraught of what happened to my car. Yeah, I know. But it is what it is. All right. So let me know. If you know of another organization that does these accepting of donated cars that no longer work or anything, let me know in the comment below. Oh, another thing I should let you guys know. So for those who you may think, well, my car doesn't work anymore. Like, how am I going to get my car from South Dakota to New York or New Jersey? You don't have to do that in some of these organizations. I know for Cars for Kids, after I gave them the information of my car, they actually came over to South Dakota and picked up the car. And if I read correctly, that they're from New Jersey, I am shocked that they took the time and energy to get their butts all the way from New Jersey to South Dakota in the middle of nowhere to help a poor little New Yorker to pick up her car and then go back to New Jersey. And I don't know. I don't know what they do with the car, but I know they do something good with the car. Oh god, that surprises me. But yeah. I just want to say thank you, Cars for Kids, for doing that. They did also, if you for tax reasons, they will also give you a certificate that you can use for when you are doing your taxes. They will give you that certificate that you can use, and when you do your taxes, they'll you can use that. I don't remember if I used it or not. Things were so hectic at that time, and I was going through chaos and stuff that, yeah, I don't remember. But the car was donated, and that was the good thing. All right, that's all I care about at the time, and I was able to get rid of the car. So, also let me know. Have you lived in another state and something like that happened to you? I don't know. Has anything chaotic like that happened to you? Because as you guys can tell, and you're gonna hear a lot of more of these stories, not just the first part and second part and third part. Yeah, I have a chaotic life at that. All right. So, yeah, let me know. Have you ever lived in another part of the United States that completely different from where you're originally from, or maybe another part of the world? I always wanted to live in South Korea, or Japan. Unfortunately, because of my medical condition, I don't think it was a wise decision to do that. So I ended up not doing that. But let me know if in the comments below, okay? And I hope to hear from you guys soon. Take care. Bye.